Well, hello and welcome. This is episode 28. If you watched last time, you will have seen that I am not the best person to give you what day it is because I meant to say it was, I still can't say it. It was supposed to be September and I said February and I confused many of you. So I believe this is October 5th, but don't hold me to it. Hello, how are you all? It's been about 3 weeks and I am glad to be with you today. I keep thinking that, oh, I should film, but I haven't accomplished a lot. And as I've pulled things together, maybe I have accomplished some things, but they've all been concentrated on just a few projects. So if you're okay with that, I'm going to show you what I've been up to. I have a finish and a framed finish again this week. I had that the last time I filmed. What do you want to see first, the finished or the framed finish? I'm going to pick the finish because it's top of the pile. I started Mini Mansions by Annie B's Folk Art last spring and I loved it. I wanted to stitch it. And then my mother-in-law passed away and she had pre-arranged a lot of things from her funeral, including the verse that went on the little cards you pick up, you know, when you sign a guest book. And she had used this verse in John. And I thought, oh, how appropriate that I'll commemorate my mother-in-law with this. So I started it. I pulled my own conversion. I wanted to stitch it in silk. And so I just went with what I had in my stash, and I think it looks pretty true. I'll show you. I also decided not to stitch the alphabet at the top. So all I did was move down the border. I did get a consult from the queen of changing charts, which is Kim, the contented needleworker, and she said this was okay. I just needed permission to go rogue, and so I did. And look. Isn't it lovely? Okay, so this is my finish, and this is the chart. So you can see I just omitted the top, and I don't know if you can really tell the colors, but I had, let's see, I had this, the house, and the 2 columns finished when I picked this up 3 weeks ago. And once I started stitching on those birds, I could not put it down. Like everything from there was just delightful. Those birds are really fun. The hearts, the strawberries, everything about it. I just loved it. So it is finished. And I haven't really taken the time to look for frames. I think I'm gonna frame this one myself. I'll show you why in a second. But I'm thinking maybe a green frame, maybe a mustard yellow frame, but isn't she pretty? So that is a finish and I'm happy about it. What do I have? Okay, so that was stitched on 46 count Dolly Madison by Needle and Flax. I think Dolly Madison is a really lovely, versatile color. That's what I had left off my piece. Now, guess what I had framed? I had shown this last time as a finish that I'd finished stitching Pretty in Pink by Shakespeare's Peddler. I was inspired when I went to the attic and saw Jean's finish of this. So I got the attic conversion. I used Swasserfine and I did this on a 56 count. And I took it again to Dayton Art Solutions and had them help me with a frame. In fact, Kim pulled a frame and she said, what about this? And I was like, that's it. We didn't even keep looking. Look at it. I'll hold it back here so you can see the whole thing. Isn't it fantastic? I kind of love that the frame is way bigger than the stitched piece, but here you can see. I again went with a museum acrylic, which I'm in front of windows, so it has some glare, but it does not in person. And here's the chart, just so you can see them together. And so the frame is not too far off from the one that Teresa Vanette chose to stitch it. I can't decide where it's gonna go. I had mentioned that my oldest daughter, who is Pop of Color Project on Instagram, was going to help me with a gallery wall upstairs. Maybe at the end I'll try to put a a picture or a little clip of that. So that happened since we last spoke. And I had talked about my Wonderfully Weird wall that I was going to put peacock, unicorn, and badger on when I finish it, etc. And I couldn't wait. We had to get this wall with something on it because it was just feeling so incomplete to me. But we have room that I can continue to add on. So Alyssa and I are talking about adding this on. But I had put vibrant flowers at my front door, which seems a little small, so I might swap it for this. I don't know. I have so many options. So those are my finishes. I feel like I rarely have finishes to show you, and so I'm pretty excited that those two are finished and out of my whip pile. Now, since we last spoke, let me throw things over here. I have started a few things. I've worked on a few things. What should I show you first? I think I will show you progress I have made on Jeanette Douglas Specialty Stitches a la 1838 by LH. And this was a project we received at the attic at Sampler Symposium. And I know I repeat myself, but when I saw it and when she explained the chart, I thought, I don't do specialty stitches. And all of her explaining of which direction to go, like she went through almost each of the 40 small squares, explaining like, now which path would you go? And I'm like, I don't know. It sounded like blah, blah, blah to me. Now I wish I had paid more attention because it all makes great sense. And I'm hooked on specialty stitches. So I've completed 2 more blocks on this, and they are fun ones. Okay, so here's where I am. These are the 2 blocks that I finished. Now, if you are working on this, and I think Sean, the periwinkle stitcher, mentioned this, and that's who inspired me to get this out and work on it. She mentioned that she had one inverted or something, and I was like, I don't know. I now see that all of mine are in the wrong locations, but really does it matter? To me, it doesn't. I'm okay with it. When it comes off the spool, which is how this finish looks. Do you see the spool? Gosh, I can't see it backwards. Oh, it's down here. Do you see the spool? It's all gonna roll onto that spool. I'm okay if it's vertical instead of horizontal or whichever way. I made the mistake, but I'm gonna show it to you again. Look how fun this one is. Okay, I'm gonna show you really close. I love it. I will say each one takes me maybe an evening. I can get one done in an evening. And this was probably also what inspired me to get started with it. We received all of these NPIs carded like this. And so how could you just let these NPIs sit and go dormant? So that's what made me pick it up. Oh, there's some purples. I can't wait to do more purple. So that is some progress I made on Jeanette Douglas Specialty Stitch. Okay, I'm gonna break right here to say the Jingle Ball is coming. I believe signups are this month sometime. You know, I don't ever know details. The 17th sticks in my head, could be wrong, but the classes, that information is all out. I think there's a Jingle Balls website, but Lindy Stitches has all the details, as do many of the designers. And Jeanette Douglas has this little specialty stitch ornament that is really tempting me. I think I might need to buy that class because it's really pretty. Can we talk about Harvest Moon for just a second? I'm kind of all over the place. So Harvest Moon was her fall online virtual retreat she has, which is what Jingle Ball is. I believe they're $15, and they are the best $15 you are going to spend to get to stay home, meet people, stitch in your pajamas all weekend. So I highly recommend it. But I did Harvest Moon Hangout, which last time I can't remember the name of it, but that's what it was called. And number 1, the girls from Gloriana, Ann and Beth, I believe, explained her process, the coloring, how the company was started. That was one of my favorite sessions. And then you just can kind of float around to different stitching lounges, they're called, and they have very humorous names. And sometimes you find a group of people that you just gel with. And I had that happen. So this particular group of people had found each other, I could be wrong, at Jingle Ball last year, or maybe the spring mingle this year. I don't know, but they were really fun. They're a spicy, sassy group, and I found a room they were in, and they've included me. I got to stitch with them today. So you just never know when you're gonna meet new people in your life and make new friends. I highly recommend signing up for the Jingle Ball. Okay, let's move on to more whips. I have one more actual whip I've worked on. Speaking of Jingle Ball, this is from last year's Jingle Ball. This is the Stacy Nash Gingerbread House. It was my favorite, maybe my only class I did last year. I loved it. That's the front, that's the back. And so immediately during the Jingle Ball last year, I stitched up the front of the house. And look, how cute. I watched Stacy's finishing class and thought, I'm not gonna stitch the back of it. This will be fine, just stitched. But then the longer it's been since I've fully finished it, the more I've thought, oh, I should stitch the back. A lot of you all encouraged me to stitch the back. So with my friend Merritt Crawford of Sew Just Because here on Flosstube, she sends me updates. Merritt, I haven't sent you an update lately, but look, because Merritt is also stitching her back. This is what I've done. Isn't it cute? I am a fan of fill-in and easy. I would not call this group of wreath easy. I don't know how many times I ripped that out. Now, done is better than perfect is often my theme, especially when it comes to greenery or leaves or trees, nature in general, flowers. But it just wasn't working out, that it wasn't gonna be right. And I don't think you can even see, there's some little berries in there too. So I did take that out a few times to fix it. I was working on this chair last night and had to take that out a time or two too. Counting is hard, but this is what I'm working on. So let me find it again. So I have this all finished except for some specialty, like some back stitching and things that go in it. So now I'm gonna be working up here. I am not gonna stitch the mice because rodents are not my thing. Snakes and rodents are meh. I'm probably just going to make a couple of more spools. Can you see those? But I think I can have this finished pretty fast. So I've been concentrating on this a little bit. That is another whip I've been working on. And then I've had two starts, two. She who gets stressed over too many whips had two more starts. But I did finish two recently, in my defense. So, can I show you? This is by Rosie and the Rockies. It is her first sampler reproduction or any kind of design. Is that correct, Rosie? And she has this available. If you go to Rosie and the Rockies, you will find her information. This is Elizabeth Metcalf 1860, and it's really lovely. And again, Contented Needleworker Kim, Sarah Stitchy Spot, and Susan Standley, and many others are in a group that are stitching this together. And if you want to do this, buy the chart and then contact Rosie or Contented Needleworker Kim, and they will add you to the Instagram group. So I started it this week. What did I do? I had all of the called for colors, believe it or not. And, oh, I don't have them on a, this is so me. I don't have them on a ring yet. They're just tossed in my bag. But these are the colors. And you know, Kim loves her pinks. I too love my pinks. Okay, so those are the lovely colors. And again, so not like me, but I decided to do the whole bones of the border first. I do not like to eat my vegetables first, but I did it and it matched. I don't know that I've ever stitched a whole border and it matched, but it sure did. So there is the border, and this is what the little flowers are gonna start looking like soon. I'm stitching this on 36 count Legacy Fiber Arts Old North Church. Now, Sue is my friend. She is the dyer, and she and her daughter Chelsea own Legacy Fiber Arts. They dye primarily yarns, and I love their yarns, but they also dye, Sue dyes linen. And she had taken a break, and when she has linen available, it's in Rachel from Treehouse Fiber Arts shop. Rachel has a lovely curated shop, and I know she does still have some of Sue's linens and Aidas in stock right now. Not a lot. I think there's some 20 count Aida of a lot of colors and maybe some 46 count in her shop, but that's what this is. And Rosie, this is lovely. Like, I am really enjoying this. Then today, in my get together with my friends I met on Harvest Moon Hangout. Hi Terry, hi Adam, hi Tyler, missed you Wendy, and I haven't met the others yet. But this is Rebecca Worrell, sampler 1847, and I had shown a few episodes back a summer stitch box I got from the Wishing Thorn, and this chart is now available. So this is the antique reproduction. This is the model stitch of it. I like the dark antique reproduction look, so I pulled from my drawer of linen a Lakeside 40 count vintage meadow rue, which looks like this. So let's see. It's pretty close. And I started it this morning. Excuse needle and dangling thread, but that's what I've gotten done this morning. Very enjoyable. Again, the rhythm of this border is very nice. And I don't know if you can really see, only that's easier to see. Some of the motifs on there. The butterflies are over 1. I didn't realize that. However, she charts it in the regular chart, and then she gives you a separate chart of the other one, which over 1, which I really appreciate because I don't mind stitching over 1. My brain hurts from reading the chart of over 1. So I really, really, really appreciate this. And I say that when you're stitching over 1 and it's in a regular chart, there are technically 4 stitches or 4 potential stitches in each square on the chart. She has this, so over 1, it is a stitch per square. I know that doesn't make sense, but if you stitch over 1, do you know what I mean? You're going over 1 linen thread. And I also rarely say, almost always, I use 1 strand of floss over 2 squares of linen threads. I'm a 1/2 stitcher. I'm sorry if I don't say that very often. I don't enjoy using 2 strands of floss and trying to keep them straight and all that. I'm a 1 strand girl, but this is what she looks like. I pulled from my stash because I'm a lucky, lucky girl. I did my own Vicki Clayton conversion. Oh, and these, I know it's so annoying to say, these are petable Vicki Clayton silks. Can you see the shine they have to them? They are really nice. I have started something at Vicki Clayton, but I don't think I have a finish in it. And a little backstory. You all probably know who Emily C. is. She has a Flosstube, and she works in the CASA world for children in foster care. And so it's been called the Duck Derby. It was called something else this year, but she helps her organization in promoting their fundraiser each spring. And people are so generous in their donations of prizes for her. And this past year, some stitcher, I think she could really no longer stitch, and so she donated her entire stash to Emily to do with what she wanted. And so kind Emily then used that for giveaways. And I was a winner, which is a big deal. And I was stitching with friends when I got the text that I won something. And so I was kind of busy, my brain was full, but I thought, oh, I wonder if that Vicki Clayton silk, which is also called HDF, hand-dyed floss. I just quickly went to that to see if it was available, and it was. You guys, I got a box, a huge box of spools of Vicki Clayton silk. So I have the most beautiful, luscious stash now of Vicki Clayton's, and I was able to pull every single color, just matching it up. And I found that conversion. Do you enjoy converting floss. I love it. I kind of thought it would be tedious or monotonous. I enjoyed it so much. I have the DMC floss card that actually has the pieces of floss so that you can see, you know, you can lay this on top of the DMC, and it is very enjoyable. So that is it, and I think I showed you what I have started on it. So that is my stitchiness the last few weeks. It's been a busy few weeks, only in that, like, I think I told you we had gone to visit some grandkids. One set of kids got the opportunity to take a trip, and so we helped with a child that didn't travel with them, and so that was really fun. We had house guests this weekend. This is Sunday that I'm filming, so it's been really busy, but I've gotten some things done. Okay, I'm going to show you my knitting, okay? Say yes, okay? I am stitching the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. Sorry, I don't want to undo anything. And a big goal of mine has been to get the body done. And I did it. I got the body done, I got the ribbing done, and I cast off. Now, for you knitters, you can see I kind of have some flare in my cast off. And I'm just gonna tell you, I cast off once and it was way too tight. So I had to take off my cast off. So what it's called, bind off, and redo it. And I went up a lot in needle size, and it's stretchy enough now, but I'm still working. This is my second sweater, so I'm still learning things. And I was finally brave enough to pick up the stitches and start the sleeve. So I've done this sleeve in the past couple days. I've gotten that much progress on it. This is Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. I'm using one strand of fingering in Lavender Fields, I think, and one strand of Vanilla Bean Mohair to get this. Oh, it's so soft. It's going to be so comfy. So I'm working on that. I'm working on a couple pair of socks, but I didn't bring those down. My phone keeps flashing, but I think my husband's arrived. So if he gets noisy, I don't think it's noisy. Sometimes you can hear walking and stuff upstairs. So I might pause if that's the case. He was out riding his bike this morning. Okay, I am stitching. Okay, let's do this unroll. This is called the 100 Acre Wood Blanket by Bakery Bears. And we are a poo loving family, as you know. But look, I'm almost finished with my second row. This one's still in the needles, but is that the front? No, that's the back. It's really fun. Really fun. Each square takes me about 40 minutes to do, so it's just nice to pick up at the end of the day. And that's kind of how the construction of it goes. You're picking up from the bottom and the side of this one. But another thing I wanted to show you is I've talked about Earth Tone Girls in her wonderful videos and new book. This is a fun pointer, my needle. So she has her own colorway that Sue Legacy Fiber Arts dyed. And I was very excited to order it from Denise, and I'm gonna see if I can hold them all up. This is the Earth Tone Girls colorway. Isn't that fun? You can now get it on Sue's website, which is Legacy Fiber Arts, Sue and Chelsea. You can now get this colorway and order it for yourself. I think these are mini skeins, and it's designed for stripy socks. But isn't this a great poo colorway? I think it is. So I'm excited. I'm going to be putting a lot of this into my 100 Acre Wood Blanket. Okay, there's my knitting. Oh, another project. Sorry, I wasn't finished with stitching. Hold on. Okay, stitching. I went through my kits. I'm going to do a kit parade, maybe still today. We'll see. We'll see how time goes. But as I was going through my kitted projects, I thought, oh, I want to start this. I want to start this. And when I came across this, I was like, when better to start than October for this? This is by Sampler Bird Stitchery, and it's a pumpkin scissor fob, and it's a whole kit. You get everything you need to make that fob right there. Isn't it cute? She has an over 1 or an over 2 option. It comes with all the flosses you need. It comes with a spool, which you need to paint, and then it comes with the beads, the fabric for the pumpkin, and the lizard glitter to fill the pumpkin. I chose the over one, again, because I can do hard things if it's charted the way my brain understands. I'm gonna put this on this board just because it's so tiny. Make sure it's right side up. Okay, I did the over one. Look how cute. Can you see it? You get a couple of choices. I think there's 3 choices of what you can stitch. And so I'm gonna show it to you in my hand. Look how tiny. And that will then wrap around the spool like so to be part of that fob. I kind of put it aside when company came this weekend, but I should finish this today. Like, this is one of those projects that could then just sit here and me thinking, oh, I'll get around to it, but I really want to finish this today. Isn't that cute? So Robin Chappelle is Sampler Bird Stitchery, and she has a tomato kit as well. You can order those, and I have that one too. Isn't that fun? Okay, that's another thing I stitched. Something I wanted to tell you about is my sweet friend has a fundraiser she is doing for their adoption. The Rocking Chair Stitcher, you can find her on Instagram and Flosstube on YouTube. Sweet, sweet, sweet. They have adopted the most darling little boy with Down syndrome. He's so cute, so sweet. Well, they want to adopt again. So she has released this fundraiser, and it's called Family Threads, an adoption fundraiser with cross stitch collection. My printer was acting wonky, so I didn't print all of them, but I did print a few of them. This is by Textilly. I really love this one because one of my grands joined our family by adoption, and so I'll probably stitch that for her. Isn't that cute? I want to say it's $20, and if my memory serves me correctly, there are 7 charts, but I could be wrong. This is another one. This is by Asbury Echoes, and this one is by A New Creation. And then I know Sweetwing, Susan Sweetwing has one in there, and I'm probably missing some more that my printer didn't print for me, but I highly recommend going and supporting Rocking Chair Stitcher. And she's a sweet, sweet person. So that's one thing I wanted to show you. Another different project I wanted to show you. My daughter Alyssa, again, loves to thrift, and her account is a lot about thrifting. And she found this bag of goodies at Goodwill. And in it were these 2 applique blocks. And I had found on a Buy Nothing group an applique block that I put on the back of a jean jacket. And I thought, wouldn't these be cute on the baby girls a jean jacket? So I ordered these little jean jackets for Ruby and Stella, who are 2 and turning 2 this week. And I thought it would be really cute to put these on the back. Probably gonna cut it down a little bit. And Tyre Lily inspired me. She's so good at thinking outside the box. With her Harvest Moon Hangout project, she was one of the presenters, and I bought her class, but I haven't made the bag yet. She taught us how to make a really neat Starburst project bag, but she used chenille on it. This is chenille, if you know it. And so you sew it on, and then you fluff it up. And so it's a great way to finish, let's see, to highlight a raw finished sewing line and cover it with this. So I thought I'm just going to chenille these on there. Now my only problem is this is a cream fabric background, and this is white. So I don't know if I can tea dye this. I have enough of it that I might be brave and try it, but that's a project I'm gonna work on soon. Sometimes if I tell you about it, it makes me then feel like I need to work on it because I told you about it. So maybe that'll get some attention this week. If we can talk about, oh no, one more thing. In my Stitchy journal, which mine is from My Crazy Life, Lori, and I really like it. That's my September. And this is the beginning of my October. I love these stickers, and they're by Whistle Stop Stitcher Designs, but she's no longer making stickers. And I have them that say start and finish. And this is the way my brain can quickly go back and find like all the details on a project. And because she's no longer making them and I'm out of starts, I'm having to cover up the word finish with a sticker that says start. Does anybody have a sticker maker that they find really works well for your stitching journal? I would love your recommendation in the comment or email me or DM me on Instagram. But I am looking for some perfect stickers. I really like them to fit the entire square for a start or a finish. I could probably craft something of my own, but I'd love to support a maker, and I don't want to make something of my own. So tell me if you know something. Last time, I had a couple of giveaways, and I haven't heard back from these two people yet. Let me tell you who they are. Emmanuel, the word was Christmas, and it's Liz Florum. So Liz, please contact me. I feel like it could have slipped through the cracks on these two if you contacted me by Instagram. Maybe send me an email, which is hobbiesofholly@aol.com. I'll put it down below. So Liz Florum, 6021, and the Law of Kindness, Christy Flanagan. These were duplicates that I purchased from my good friend Shelly, the antique needleworker. I purchased them because I didn't think I had them, then I already had them. But those are two winners from last time. This time, well, that's not true, that I announced last time. Two charts that I was giving last time are from Annie, the Proper Stitcher, and this is what they look like. She has some really cute Halloween things. If you are fall stitching right now, go check her out. The first one we talked about childhood cancer awareness, and I had asked you to use a yellow heart emoji or a yellow ribbon emoji for childhood cancer awareness month. So Hallows was the heart. Julie Thomas, you are the winner of this. Please contact me at the aforementioned info. Always winners be over 18 so that I can ask for your address, because I'm gonna need your address to send these. And then Boo Eve, look how cute with the sheepy. This was Polly Jones. So Polly and Julie, please email me with your information and I'll get those mailed out to you. This time I went through my stash of duplicates or charts that I didn't think I would get around to stitching. And in the October theme, this is a Stacy Nash chart called Merry Halloween Pen Keeps. Will you use the word Stacy? The name Stacy, I guess. And this one is a Shakespeare's Peddler that I've purchased twice, maybe 3 times. Please use the word Dolly, D-O-L-L-Y. This is Dolly Foil's 4 Lions sampler. It's a really pretty one. So again, be over 18. Please don't use giveaway, free, prize, etc., because that attracts icky things. I have some purchases to show you. This was a de-stash purchase. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher was de-stashing. Oh, goodness. I love Stacy Nash a lot. And so this is 2 Red Houses sampler plus, I think it says. I believe this was a retreat piece, holding it sideways so it doesn't glare. I forgot to turn off my HVAC, so I'll try to talk louder. A couple of you had mentioned that you can't hear me when that kicks on, so I'm sorry. I hope that's not a problem. This was fully kitted with a little prize, little ruler in it. So I got that. Nicola from Hands Across the Sea sometimes will have 103 floss packs. So if you're building your 103 stash, this was one of her floss packs, and it's a good price. So I bought that to add to my stash. Moonshine Stitchery, Phoebe, she also has an Instagram. I mean, no, she does have an Instagram, but she has a Flosstube, and she dyes fabric. And this was a piece of Pooey. Oh, it says, is original recipe the name? So I got some of her fabric because I had never stitched on any. Isn't that pretty? It's very nice. Some of the Blackbird fabric has been reprinted, And so I love purple, and so I got myself a big hunk of that, because with quilting fabric, you have to get it while the getting's good, because once it's gone, it's gone. They don't keep printing it. So if you like blackbird fabric, now's the time. Can't remember the name. Oh wait, maybe the binding tells me, or the selvage. Wild Orchard by Blackberry. Wild Orchard is the name of this fabric line. So there's that. Teresa Bennett, the kitten stitcher, Shakespeare's peddler, gets me every time. She sends out a newsletter. Get on her mailing list. She also has a $5 section on her website that will hook me in every time. But in her newsletter, she mentioned that, I don't know if she was destashing, but this is what got me there. She had this Blackbird book called Women of Grace and Charm, a quilting tribute to the women who served in World War II. My husband and I love World War II history, and so I had to have this. I'd never seen it before. I'm assuming it's out of print. Can you see that? There's quilting things in here, and then there's also one cross-stitch chart that I'm sure has been reprinted. I probably have it. A tribute to cross stitch. I'm not showing you anything. There's one cross stitch chart in it. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, have I missed my chance? Somehow I got on there as soon as I got her email. So I picked this up. And she also had a few other books that caught my eye. Samplers from A to Z. I don't know if this one is still available or not, but it has some really pretty things in it. I love old samplers so much. And then one more, Architecture from Early Samplers. And this one has charts in it. So if you want to stitch a house, it's like full of houses, and you may or may not know I love stitching houses. So this was another book I picked up. And I think there's some more books that she has on her website, so go check that out. But while I was there, could this have been a $5 chart? If it is, what is this? It is. This is a chart, but it has so much information in it. Look. This is Old Willow Stitchery, Charlotte Suite, 1837. I don't know if this was a $5 chart or not, but I kind of feel like it was. I bought that. That's like a whole book. And then, so her sons are Wabi Sabi linen, maybe Ada too. And they have a Fabric of the Month club, but she has extras a lot of times. So I got the last couple linens. This is Turtle's Neck, funny. And this one is tomato something, heirloom tomato. I thought they would be fun Christmas stitches. This one's a little more orangey than I typically like on a Christmas, but I'll make it work. So while I was there, she had some other things that intrigued me. JBW Judy is just the most precious, but look at that. So I had to have that. Do all things with kindness, yes. Love that. I don't think this is new by Beth Twist. No, it's from January 19th. But I love Words to Live by Justice. I think my friend Caitlin had shown, is this right, Caitlin? Stitch, Read, Repeat, Flosstube. I think she had showed this recently, and I said I needed it. Maybe this is what sent me there in the first place. Or maybe I had this in my cart and then added things to it. Free those who wrongly imprisoned, remove the chains that bind people. Share your food with the hungry and give shelter to homeless. Help those in trouble. Let your light shine out from the dark, and the darkness around you will be as bright as the noon. Then the Lord will restore your strength, and you will be an ever-flowing spring. Isaiah 58, 6 through 11. Yes, Lord. I love this, and I want to stitch this. You know, I have that one more son-in-law, Pastor. I don't know if you would like that. I love stitching letters. So, Heartstring Sampler, Teresa Bennett. Then she has a couple of these Reflet de Soie kits, and I've always wanted to try one. She has a few of them. I think they're like back stock to choose from. And I just chose a name I liked. Maybe it was Victoria or something like that. But it comes in this cute little box. But look at all the fun things in it. These are Soie blue silks. Oops. A chart that I love. And thread for it and a couple of needles. I think that is a finish of it also. So I thought that was a fun little kit. That would be a great gift. And the last, no, there's a few more things in my pile. I thought I had been a good girl. Apparently not. Harvest Moon Hangout. So all of Lindy Stitch's events, there is fun shopping. And you kind of have to go quick because things sell out. And this did sell out. But this, oh, that feels nice. This is the Gloriana that she had. This is the ever popular and hard, elusive Schoolhouse Red. So that was the only thing I purchased in the Harvest Moon Hangout. But that was nice. What else we got in here? My sweet friend Shelly has had new releases as in Antique Needleworkers. And these are her new releases. And she's so good to me. These she sent to me. Okay, I'll tell you what they're called. My Treasures. And this is a box you can buy from Timbo. I can't remember the exact name of their business. I know that's the beginning of it. And that's a piece she designed for the top. This is so cute. Welcome Fall. And her Fall Biscornu. She has other seasons available also. So those are from Shelly. And then I had never ordered from Stitching Ocala. And I love her. Jody is great. She sent me a nice card because she's sweet. But I had ordered some things from Jody. I had been wanting this from whatever the most recent Needle Place Market is. But by Samplers and Primitives, Noel Ornament Sampler. Isn't that great? Oh, I would like to start that right away. I love those colors. So I got that. And in the same vein, this looks like it would go nicely with it. This is called Noel Band Sampler. So Noel Ornament Sampler and Band Sampler. And then I also ordered, I love Mojo Stitches. Joanne is so sweet. Little Pink House. I don't think I had seen this before. And again, I love stitching houses. So that's Mojo. And then Sweet Jody gave me a gift. Oh, I forgot about this. Sorry about Crinkle. Hold on. It'll be worth it. Sweet Jody sent something for me and something for you. She sent these cute little Moda pouches, zipper pouches. So use the word quilt below, if you will. And I will put some of my favorite needles and that kind of thing and fill one of these pouches to give to one of you. Use the word quilt. She said one for me, one for you. And that's how I shop a lot of times too. And then she also had a little freebie chart in here too. So those are the things I've purchased since we last spoke. I think that's all I have to show you. Is there anything else I have to tell you? Probably not. I am going to Dying to Stitch to meet Brenda Gervais with my best friend Tam in a couple of weeks. So I'm very excited about that. And I know a few of you are going too. So let's chat when we're there. And I'm sorry I forgot to tell you what meal I wanted. If you haven't done that, tell Ann what meal you wanted. And I think that's it. I'm just excited for fall to come. Eventually, it was 87 in Dayton, Ohio yesterday. That's hot. Sorry about his noise. Okay, that's all. This life is short. Every day is gift. This life is a gift. Sorry. This life is fragile. I have a friend whose grandbaby is fighting for her life today. If you would pray for baby Shira, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, be good to each other, okay? Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.